So look, I know I always come on here and I try to talk to you about things that are working, the benefits of acquiring a firm, how to do it for no money out of pocket, how to scale that firm, all these different things. But I think it's only fair that I also bring to the table challenges that are probably going to come your way. And I thought it was only appropriate for me to just give you guys kind of a little bit of what I'm going through with one of our firms right now. This is a firm that we've owned for about a year now. We have an employee who was a key employee. There have been challenges with this particular employee. And look, in a perfect world, you buy an accounting firm for no money out of your own pocket. You keep the owner on board part-time indefinitely, and you retain 100% of the staff. That would be great. That would be the best, most ideal thing for client retention. It's just sometimes there are going to be employees, and sometimes they may be key employees, where you can tell it's very obvious that they're not interested in change, in maybe learning new processes that, even though to us, they are going to make life so much easier for everybody. When you're a good-hearted person, you do your best to try and accommodate to them, and you do your best to try and be understanding that there are probably changes and maybe a pace that you're going at that they're not comfortable with. And so you provide training, you provide positive feedback, you provide these things in an effort to show them that we are here to support you, although things might be shifting a little bit here or there. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself, is this going to clash with the culture that I'm trying to build? It's a tough question to answer, because again, if you're a good-hearted person, you don't want that. You don't wish that on anybody. You don't want anybody to leave the team. But this is where I believe your core values from day one are extremely important as you're acquiring a new firm that already has a culture embedded there. That is probably one of the toughest challenges when we are looking at acquiring a new firm. You are coming in to improve the culture, I would say, but there is already a culture that already exists, and there will be this feeling of swimming against the current at certain points in time. You cannot sacrifice your culture for anything. I believe one of our core values in our firms is everybody needs to maintain integrity, character, be open to change, be willing to learn new things, and have everybody's back, a true team environment. When you find a staff member that is fighting against all of those changes, at a certain point it becomes, is this killing the culture? Is this being counterproductive to the culture that I'm building right now? If the answer is yes, you're going to have some major talks with that person. I guess by now you can figure out, what all is happening. We had some personnel changes. Now, for the record, we have found a great replacement candidate with a ton of potential, a ton of promise. There will be some challenges that we'll have to work through, but great opportunities, and I feel really good about this applicant. But doesn't make it any easier when you have to have these conversations, especially when they're key employees. They might have a ton of information in their heads that may be walking out the door as well. And so transfer of knowledge is something that I think is very important. If you guys want me to talk a little bit more on transfer of knowledge, my experience in entering into a firm, and how that transfer of knowledge process looks a little bit and how important it is, drop a comment below. I'll make a video about the transfer of knowledge when you're acquiring a firm. That's the reality. We had to have some tough conversations, and unfortunately there's going to be some personnel changes and stuff like that. But I'm saying all of this, but do I still 1000% believe that acquiring an accounting firm, buying the book versus building the book, is still the best way for hypergrowth? Absolutely. There's no way that I could be at a point right now within a matter of a little over 24 months having 2,500 clients that we are managing now. There's no way I could have done that. There's not enough networking events to go to. There's not enough babies to kiss and hands to shake that I could do that. Acquisitions is 1,000% still the best way to hyper grow. But I think it's important for you to just know that being transparent and being completely raw and honest with you, as you're stepping into this, you need to accept the fact that there will be owner level decisions that you're going to have to make. Sometimes those are the decisions that you're like, I would love to run the other way and not have to be involved with this decision. But as the owner, that is on you. That is your responsibility. So be ready for these types of things. Anybody out there that is going to try and act like you can buy a firm and there will be zero problems the entire time is lying to you. There are challenges even though you're in the owner's box. Now, is it great that you can go home whenever you want or you can come in whenever you want? Absolutely. But there's still that owner level set of decisions that weighs on your shoulders. So I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm being candid. I'm being transparent. It's been a heck of a week for me. It's been heavy. And as I'm recording this, it's Wednesday, so we're not even all the way through yet. But hopefully this will give you guys a little perspective and give you the right expectations as you're stepping into acquiring an accounting firm. By the way, if you want to know a little bit more, talk a little bit more about acquiring an accounting firm and how that might look for you, there's a link in the description below. Book a call with me. Let's talk. Let's see if this is right for you. I can show you around our community where we have a lot of awesome pros in our industry that are acquiring some their first, some their second, and some their third firms by this point. You can see Nick here, who's finalizing his third acquisition already, and he's talking about this culture thing that I'm telling you about. So I just want to tie that all in for you, that on your first firm, your second firm, your third firm, culture is always going to be at the center. Create your culture, don't compromise your culture, and anything that is counterculture, you gotta get it out of your firm as fast as possible. There is nothing more deflating to a good employee than watching you tolerate a bad employee. That's some heavy truth there. I hope this moment of transparency is helpful and valuable for you. And remember, it's a cruel world, but we're better together. See you later.